No, I don't think I can do that unless I have like multiple like things going on at the same time, which I don't.
Gotcha.
But I will tell you right now, I believe we should be live now. We should be live. Yeah, it says I'm live, and if you look at the stream, I should be there. Finally, yes, I know. Okay, sorry, we were getting everything sorted. We're getting everything set up. I wanted things to look pretty. And if you look at the stream,
okay, so let me mute.
Finally, yes, I know. Okay,
sorry. Wait, how do I mute?
Sorry, we were getting. There should be just
YouTube.
Yeah,
oh, I got it.
It's like YouTube, so you just mute normally. Right. Okay, guys, so if you are joining right now, please make sure that you like the notification on Twitter and retweet it if you can. You're welcome to do your own share message if you would like. I'd really appreciate that so we can get the stream started today. There should be a button on the stream that allows you to share if you guys would like to. We'll start once we get people in. I got the YouTube notification. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Hi, Loki and Poet. What's up, Gareth?
Yeah.
How you doing? How are you feeling, Poet? You feeling ready? Ready to roll?
I am hungover, but I'm ready for this.
Hopefully, guys, like I've just done something very straightforward for today. I'm keeping it pretty basic, but I think keeping it simple is probably going to serve purpose anyway. So it's
just delayed. Like, do you see that? Like when you're talking on the YouTube, it's like delayed.
Yeah, it's probably best not to look at me when you're talking. It's probably. I mean, I could sort it out so you could see me whilst, but I would need to like do a lot of tweaking to make sure it works. It's so nice and clear in HD, and that's the great thing about it is obviously with us doing it here, Poet, you are HD quality, so we can see every strand of your hair and everything. And you did spend like 20 minutes before we started, like kind of putting your hair in position. So I think it's going to be worthwhile now.
Yeah. It's all right. You know what? It's okay.
Poet looks so hot, I want to grow a peanut. Great. Thanks, Beat It. And obviously, the great thing about YouTube Live as well is Beat It's not banned. So, it's great.
Thank God. People stop banning her already.
Don't talk about eggs on you now, everybody. You gotta be careful. Let me see those follicles. Right. I might zoom in a little bit actually. Just a smidge.
Oh God. No.
Show off some follicles. All right, we've got 35 viewers currently, which is awesome. Obviously, the big difference between YouTube and YouNow is we're going off actual viewers. We're not going off bots and fake views and sleeping viewers. Like it's people who are joining and people who are legitimately here for this stream, and it's exciting. Are you both ready for Christmas? Are you ready for Christmas, Poet?
No, I still have things in the fridge. No way.
Have you not gone? Did you not do any like Black Friday sales? Did you not go out on Black Friday?
Once, maybe 10 years ago, and I will never do it again.
What you actually went out on Black Friday, and I'm guessing something happened, right?
Yeah. I was upstate New York, and I went with the family, and it was freezing first of all,
okay.
And it was a lot of people. It was just the most strangest experience because it was just people everywhere, and it was just like, what the hell's going on? I felt like it was the purge, and like people were running to like get away from things. Yeah, it just wasn't a good experience. And then nothing was really nice. Like all the good stuff was gone like the first hour of like the sales, when they went on. So when we got there, it was all like, fuck, you get the leftovers. Nobody wants that. So yeah.
I'll tell you right now, in the UK, it's a bit different. We have like Black Friday sales the entire week, and there's no like specific day where things are like better or worse. If you know what I mean. So it's just like there's just like discounts like the entire like half a week or a full week. So me and Abby went into the city on Thursday, and I got a really nice pair of Vans for like $35, $40.
Oh yes, I saw the ones with like the blood on them, right?
Fire, it's fire.
Oh. Right.
Fire, blood, same shit, right? Who cares? Like, let's be real. Yes.
Abby, what's up?
Yeah, Abby's in the house. We got loads of people joining right now. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Make sure you guys share out the stream. Please like the tweet that I put out if you did come from my notification.
Share it up.
Share it up. Let's get lit. Yeah.
Yeah, I just retweeted what you posted. So.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
People up in here.
That should be good. Cool. He still has to buy me a ring. Oh God, what's going on there? Oh, we got the Bob Father in here. Oh fucking hell, we got some We got some OGs in the house today. This is interesting. That's one thing I love about YouTube Live. Everybody who is like fucking sick and tired of YouNow still come on here, which is, you know, can make for a people pop up who you barely see, and I'm here for it. So
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well, Bob Father. It's nice to see you here. How can you share on here? I'm pretty sure you can. It should be like on the screen somewhere, like.
Yeah, on the bottom of the picture.
Yeah, the bottom of the picture, there should be an option for you guys to like retweet, I'd say. I think.
Oh my god, sure. Gallifrey, I absolutely will. He's laying on the floor right now, but I would definitely he'll get up at some point and come to bother me. So yeah, I'll show you him. Of course, he hears me talking. He's so cute though. Oh, I love him.
I shared you on MySpace. Thank you, Crockett. And everyone liked this too. Yeah, you guys can press that like button on this stream as well. Give it a good rap. I mean, oh come on, it's me and Poet, and we've got Inside the Mind with a Brain. I mean, what more could you fucking want? Let's be real. It's
yes, unfiltered questions, unfiltered answers. This is going to be very, very interesting, guys.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I feel like I've been repeating myself for the last, like, since we started, but one of the great things is there's a lot less rules on here. You know, we can speak more freely. I can bring up captured moments, guest sessions. I can bring up receipts of anything and everything if I want to. And YouNow does not allow that most of those things anymore. They've become a lot more tight-fisted,
Yeah.
which is good, but in a sense also bad for, like, if anything does happen, like if somebody attacks you, you can't really defend yourself properly. You know, like it's all going to be hearsay unless you like tweet it out, unless you tweet out the moments and the stuff like that for your supporters. You know, that's the only way you can really make it work. Don't worry, guys. The topics today are really kind of specific. The great thing about these shows is I don't really do too much prep for them. Instead, me and Poet will legitimately follow this. We'll follow this like a river. We'll just follow the flow. Is pretty much what we're doing today, and I think that's gonna be a lot more different. That's be hugely different in comparison to the summit, where everything's really pre-planned and pre-stage. And not everything's pre-staged, but I mean, I've definitely spent like hours, you know, before the shows on the summit to prepare them. This one is more impromptu, which is a lot more. You'll see if you guys like it more or not. I'll definitely get your opinions at the end. Okay, so we're 7 minutes in. I'd like to get started soon. I know that a lot of people are going to be watching this back anyway. And I'm sure once other people are aware that you did an interview with me on YouTube, they'll probably come and check it out. So it's for all intents and purposes, this will most likely be public, unless you contact me, Poet, and there was like anything that you want me to like. If you don't want me to keep it up, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to be groovy. And if there was any issue in regards, what I would probably do is I would like download it, edit it, and then upload it without that. So let's say, for example, that I accidentally post or have my like I drop Discord for a second and it shows like my email or something like that, or like I dox myself or something like that. Then obviously I'll probably change it. But in case, for all intents and purposes, you should be good. What's up, Johnny Hip? How you doing?
Thank you.
Okay.
None of our guesting Poet. No, I won't talk about your penis, Bob Father. It's okay.
Oh God. Oh.
Right.
Well, we're not going to talk about your ass either, Poet. So it's all good.
Oh. So clearly, there's certain things we can't talk about.
Oh God. All right. Okay. All right. Right. Okay. Right. So let's really get into this now. I think this is probably the right time to start. People are joining. People are saying hello, hi. People putting love hearts in the chat. So you've had quite a fucking journey, you have, Mr. Muse.
I have. I've been part of a lot of I guess drama, you would say, or I'm not involved, but kind of some way, I don't know, some way just there knowing about it or involving me, whatever. Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Do you think you're somebody who's kind of attached to it? Do you think that's a part of you, or is it the people that you associate with yourself with that makes you a part of that? Like, what do you think's the real reason why drama comes to you?
I think the real root cause of it is that when I first came to the platform, there was so much shit coming at me without anybody knowing who I was. I don't know. I mean, okay, so if we start from that point, when I first started, there was a group of people that were, trying to help people, but they basically painted me as a pedophile because they didn't know who I was.
That's Roast. So that's Roast and Co, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That
Safe
company,
Safe for Kids, I think it was called, the group.
yeah, it was called Safe.
Included Ainsley, and I know Brady was in there at one point, but I think Brady was in there to basically keep a tab, wasn't she? I remember, I recall her stating why she
Right.
was
Well,
in there.
she was in there from the receipts that I have of it, which I believe I sent them to you a long time ago. But
I recall the receipts, yeah.
yeah, she didn't really participate in the conversation that was going on. She was kind of
Yeah.
just more there to be eyes on it.
Yeah.
I was there. Yes, Tina was there too.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, were targeting me basically for supporting certain people that they didn't want me to support.
Right.
One of the big factors was Miss Kitty. They didn't want me to associate with her. And at that point, I was like a big supporter to Miss Kitty.
God,
And
that
then
fucking changed, didn't it? Bloody hell. Oh my god. That like flipped on its fucking... The roof's at the bottom now. But yeah, keep going, keep going. Oh god.
it was really bad. Just when I realized like what kind of person she actually was at the end of the day, I kind of had to like disconnect myself. And when I did, like during that process, while I was still there, I was getting like just fake stuff written about me, and they put up pictures of some guy from Jersey who was like 5'5", who had my same birth name.
Right.
And they basically was shopping it around YouNow, telling everybody that this was me and that I was a pedophile. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like, that's not even me. Like, I've never even broken a law. Like,
So the main reason why you were attacked is because of who you associate yourself with. You associate yourself with Miss Kitty and Brady as well. Yeah. And because of these associations, you were brought into it. They saw you as a target. They saw you as somebody that they could
push off the app.
But like the thing is, from what I can really say about this, and I'm sure a lot of people in the chat can agree with this, this seems very, very personal. This isn't just like a bit of standard banter, a little bit of shadiness. Everybody knows about a bit of shade, but this is very personal. Like trying to incriminate somebody as a pedophile. This is serious, and this is something that very few people have to ever deal with in their life. So I'm sure this is the first time you've ever had accusations like this thrown at you in your life.
Right.
And so
I've never been like this ever, and to have like a whole platform think that I was this person that they painted was just like outrageous. So what happened with me is, which is like I said, the root cause of why I think a lot of it happens or happened is because I spoke back and I fought back.
You retaliated, yeah.
And I went and I got, I gathered all my receipts, and then I went live under Brady's account. I guessed it with her.
Yeah.
And it was the first time anybody had ever seen me, had ever, heard my voice.
Right.
And I went and I exposed everything about them, so they knew that they really couldn't fuck with me without knowing that I wouldn't fuck with them back. They knew I would.
It got really, really bad at one point. You were making threats. They were making threats. You both sides were discussing legal proceedings. And obviously, it's been a while. I remember bringing you on the summit, and we discussed that. But what's been the? I'm assuming these proceedings fell through, didn't they?
So with that, the only reason why I haven't even spoken about it is because it's still actually ongoing, and the problem is that because this person had so many addresses, we've sent papers to the house to 4 different places, but nothing. So unless we can actually find out an actual address, like there's nothing much we can really do legally until this person comes to me, which they said.
So it's not necessarily ongoing. It's more that it's being put on a time. It's being like put on like timeout, right?
Right, until we can actually do.
So that's the main thing. Then you're not able to track the person down because they are anonymous. They keep themselves anonymous. So you haven't been able to actually, take care of this. But it was Rose and it was Wellgirl. I mean, well, at least Wellgirl was definitely dragged into this, and she was either way she was involved. It seemed like there was definitely a lot of different participants in this, and it seems even today there seems to still be a lot of animosity and tension and friction about it.
Well, because they don't stop. Like they just continuously like throw little jabs, and it's just like, why are they even concerned with me? Like there's no point in me being in their conversation at all, but yet they always seem to find a way to still put something out there. Like it's like, when do you stop? Like there's no outcome that's going to be positive for you, so why are you doing any of this? Like just leave me alone and things would be fine.
Right. Honestly, it seems to be getting worse, not better, in regards to how the community kind of behaves in situations like this. We've always known that supporters, you know, they can cause more problems for the broadcasters than they can solve. But especially in that situation, there was so much back and forth, and then obviously everybody's aware Ryan got involved in one way or another. And that was quite interesting. I think it was around April, May, June time. It could have been March, April, May. I can't remember exactly. There was a lot of talk of SLS in his streams. There was a lot of talk about you and instigating stuff, and obviously speaking about your marital status and your relationships and stuff like that. And it got very, very heated again. It did. And I don't know, like, I mean, I don't want to ask too much about your life, but it was this whole like dynamic, this whole situation new to you on YouNow?
I mean, the dynamic of it, you know, there was a lot of positives that I got from it. You know, during that time, the negatives that came about was very shocking. And I mean, there was a lot of times that I'd just be like depressed, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, obviously there is lots of positives to be on this app, but I'm sure that like at specific times it felt like the negatives were winning, right? Like it was, and obviously that gives.
At that time, like I would broadcast, and there would be like a snippet of my broadcast of what I said or something that I said, and they would put Twitter, right? And it was every day, every time. It's like I couldn't broadcast without feeling like someone was watching me. And it was like,
and trying to criminalize you as well, trying to incriminate you, trying to, and that's very damaging as well, isn't it? Because I mean, you like, if you don't mind asking, what was your main reason for coming to YouNow in the first place, Poet? Like, what drew you here?
Well, I met I found this girl, Steph Sandaji, on YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
She was transgender. She is transgender, and she had some medical condition. I forgot the name of it, but I would watch her while she would share her story, and then she said one day, "Oh, I'm going over to YouNow," and she dropped the link, and I was like, "Okay." So we all followed her to YouNow, and watched it. And then when she got off, I went looking around at other people, and that's when I found Kitty, and I found Brady, and Ainsley, and a bunch of other people. And I just watching them.
Right.
And then I just stuck around for like being a supporter. And like I said before, I was a 4 Red Crowner. Like I literally spent a lot of time on, you know, watching people and, you know, supporting. And then I just decided, like, because of my writing, I thought maybe I should use YouNow as an outlet to kind of sample it and see, you know, what kind of, like, how it's received and if it's even worth me putting this book together and all this other stuff. So I stuck by, and then that's when I said, let me just start broadcasting. And
So wait, you were a 4 Red Crowner at one point?
I was a 4 Red Crowner until last October.
That's a lot of crowns. That's a lot of crowns. How like, I've never really like asked or really, I haven't really cared enough to ask in the past, but it's actually more interesting than I thought it was. What is it to be a 4 Red Crowner? Like, it must be very. That's a lot of money. Like, was it easy for you to give away that much money to broadcasters to support other people?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. At first, it was like an addiction. It was like you get to like drop bars, and then you just make somebody happy instantaneously.
People do say it's addictive. Do you think that's what really encouraged you to spend more and more and more, and to contribute more?
No, it was the enjoyment that kind of showed on people's faces. That they were so happy that they were getting it, and just I think also the recognition of knowing that you're actually helping somebody monetarily and not just, you know, with conversation. But
there's a lot of like it's definitely instant gratification to kind of get that. I mean, is that something that you really like needed back then? Did you need that gratification? Did you want to make people happy? Was there like anything going on when you first came to this platform that made you like?
I don't know. You know, that's a really good question. I don't know if I was disconnecting from like my actual life and kind of like going off to this, you know, internet thing.
Right.
But I started getting more appreciation for the people that were online, and I started having more connections on a friend level with broadcasters. And I thought at that time, I could afford it, so
Right.
why not, do it? Like, it wasn't like I was strapped for cash, so I was
Right.
just like, I can do it.
Right.
And I did. And then honestly, like, there was only one day that I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that, which was when Mama Liz, like, I got her to her first million and I spent 300,000 bars. And I was like, what the fuck did I just do? Like, I just spent $3,000. Like, what the hell?
I
It
mean,
was just,
that's
was,
one thing that's it's important to kind of state. You know, you did have back then like a decent job. You were able to do that, and it didn't affect you. So you weren't like putting yourself into the red every month doing it. And there are people like that. But I mean, obviously filling that void, kind of like escaping to this virtual world and giving these people this getting this gratification from people and making people happy and smile. Like, how did you start feeling when you realized that some of these people were fake and they were bullshit? They were like full of shit.
I mean, I'm very upfront and blunt, and I'm not afraid to be
we know
that. Right. So that's just the way I am. So I call people for it.
Yeah.
But when I noticed it, it was disappointing to see that people can have this image, and the people looking outside, that are from the outside looking in, they think that everything is all great and this person is so sweet. But then like when I got an inside look at it, I was like, wow, like this person is so fake. Like,
that's the thing about being like, especially like a new viewer on YouNow or any other app, you have this outside of you, but once you become a part of the in crowd, once you involve yourself in the politics, like obviously you being a member of SLS, you're very high up in the political chain. I mean, obviously you're associated with the Queen of YouNow, you're the Gaddy, the princess, and there is a pecking order on YouNow, is there not?
Yeah.
So now that you're a part of this pecking order, you can see more of how things kind of like all of the different strings that are being pulled. The people who are controlling others, the people who are dictating their battlefields. There's a lot more than meets the eye. People see things as so much face value, and that's not necessarily the case. It is, isn't it? It's such good quality. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I got a new camera too. I only had it for a few days.
Oh, that's nice. What camera is it?
It's the Logitech C922 Pro.
I have that one. I'm not using it right now. I have it in. Abby uses it basically. So
it's really good.
Yeah,
it's actually really good. But it's also really good with lighting. Like if you have the right lighting, it kind of changes how it looks.
I feel like I might have maybe cut you off a little bit because I feel like we've kind of lost track of what we were saying. I've got a great follow-up question, but
okay, so anyway, so I think that's why, because everything that happened to me with the whole harassing me and all this shit, like I feel like it made me really put on like armor and just go to war and like go at them just as much as they did to me. And because I'm that person that's combative and will talk back, they don't like it. Doesn't like it.
Oh God, somebody's trying to call you.
What? I know you fucking lying, Priestley. Priestley Cupcakes is trying to call me. You a whole lie. On Discord.
What the fuck?
I know you're watching us. Like, whatever. How do you even block somebody? Can you tell me how to block somebody?
Honestly, the best thing you could do is you should change your mode to like D&D, like do not disturb or whatever it's called.
Oh, I did that.
It should be like bottom left, I'd say. I should really do it too, actually, whilst we're discussing it. Do not disturb, so we don't get any calls or anything. Go away, Priestley. All right, this isn't for you.
Really? I've never even spoken to you, Priestley. Why would you call me? Like, that's...
Oh, Carly, get lost. Come on. All right. Nice turtleneck, Loki. Thank you. All right. Well, that's he tried to add you, really. It's cool. So... like, no,
okay,
what?
So I think because I'm that person that's combative and isn't afraid to express my opinion or defend other people,
right, that
it happens.
So like, how do you feel about the concept of like the actual phrase "go to war"? Do you think that's something that's like, do you think you would have ever said anything like that about social media or streaming before coming to YouNow?
What, going to war?
The concept of going to war. It sounds like such a ludicrous statement when you kind of say it outright about like like if you're an outsider looking in and you hear and there is a streamer on and he's live or she's live and they're like, oh, we're going to war, everybody, put on your armor, like, you know what I mean? Like, even though it's kind of like a joke in itself, like it's more of a kind of a reference, it's still like, you know what I mean? I don't know. What's your opinion on that?
I mean, the whole, you know, go to war kind of phrase is a little extra, but it really does feel like that at times because, you know, one squad will squad up with the rest of the haters that hate us, and then we have to, you know, squad up our people who's going to defend us as well, and we kind of just go back and forth, and it does feel like a war because it's like you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what they're going to throw at you.
The way you describe it, I mean, I completely, I obviously I've done this, I've had this kind of situations happen to me too, but like, it's just so kind of like crazy to actually think about it like that like people having to squad up, bring their team, and then fight against another team and argue with them. You know, it's very surreal, you know, from my perspective.
It is.
I don't know.
It's unnecessary. A lot of it is very unnecessary. It's just that a lot of people provoke situations that make them worse.
Like, like once somebody put in the chat that like YouNow is like a little mini Hollywood. Would you say that's true?
I feel like YouNow is kind of like a high school.
More of a high school than Hollywood. Maybe a high school in Hollywood. Probably be the right way.
Yeah. Maybe a high school in Hollywood.
So there's
a lot of people feel entitled, and a lot of people, you know, are just. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've said a lot of things about certain people, but it's not like geared to everyone, and it's not, you know, my character to be a mean person.
Would you consider yourself entitled? Do you think that you're entitled to anything? Do you think you're entitled to respect?
I think I'm entitled to respect. I think everyone should have respect until you get to know them and realize they don't deserve your respect.
Well, it's not necessarily like, I don't know if you should be entitled for respect. I think respect is earned, isn't it? Respect is something that's earned. I mean,
I don't know. I think when you meet somebody, you should respect them. You know, when you meet somebody for the first time, you're not going to be disrespectful. You're clearly going to respect, you know, the way you're supposed to be in an interaction.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not by not respect. You know, my concept of respect. I think we're looking at this a little bit differently, like the way that I'm viewing it and the way that you're viewing it. But like, I mean, everybody should give people respect. But how about like demanding respect? Because when you expect it, it is technically like demanding it. You're expecting people to respect you, right?
True.
So, like, do you think there is a demand for that? Do you think that you or anyone do you think that's something that happens on YouNow?
I think there's people that do that, absolutely. Right. I don't think that I'm one of those people that, you know, demands it. I do expect to be respected until I give you reason to disrespect me, but I don't expect, like, I don't demand it to people that come to my chat at all. Like, if they don't like me, they don't like me. You know, like, I can't change their mind. It's fine.
No, that's cool. I completely fuck with that. I was just very interested about that. So it's an interesting question. But like, so like, how else is it like a high school? So obviously, like, there's cliques, there's different groups. There is definitely kind of a wedge. There's different social classes as well. Lots of different social classes. Different. I mean, I'm trying to think. What else? Is there any other ways that it's Valley High School? Right.
You know, people like to talk shit on the side.
Right.
Start little groups of
snakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it just reminds me of my time in high school, even though my high school experience was a lot smoother than, you know.
Right.
But it just feels like very immature at times.
Isn't it interesting though that like a lot of the people who are involved like politically in YouNow, a lot of the political figures, the people, the characters, the individuals of you know, of potential and promise, are all in their like 20s and 30s. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Like, because I mean, I can't deny it. I've been involved in drama. You've been involved in drama. A lot of us, and we're 20s, 30s. Like, there's not actually that many kids who are really involved in this stuff. There's not many teenagers who, surprisingly enough, a lot of the streamers on here who are partners in, you know, who are younger, a lot of them stay out of the drama. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. I mean, do you want to go for a list, Poet? I mean, who you referring to that? I mean,
well, I mean, hello, look at who just came into this chat. She's underage and she's part of something that's huge right now on YouNow. and that's, you know, a minor. Like,
Drama. Yeah. Okay. Good point. That's one.
More. Let me see. There's more.
I mean, I'd definitely say there's a handful, but I'd say that like 75% of the streamers who are involved in drama or disputes or conflicts, you know, our age or older, you know, like my age or older, like, you know, 20s, 30s, around that age. And it's interesting to think, like, what do you have like a reason why you think that might be the case?
What do you mean?
I mean, I've had a lot of guests on the summit, and I've spoken to a lot of these guests about their time in high school. And this is a theory, so feel free to like shit on my theory. I would love that, to be honest. That'd be fun. But a lot of the people who I've had on my shows didn't really have like the best time in high school. A lot of them didn't go, or you know, they weren't popular. They weren't really seen as the cool kids. They weren't somebody who involved themselves. You just shit. That's great. People who involve themselves in a lot of these conflicts or disputes. So like, I feel like maybe for some people they're kind of here for this, you know, they're kind of here for this kind of concept. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but it's like they're picking up from where they left off. They're now actually involved, like they're having their high school moment. They're having it feels like high school in that regard.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying that's the case for necessarily you, but it's like it's the vibe that I get from this community a lot of the time. People who didn't really have that life in high school are kind of reliving that high school now. You know, the high school that they wanted.
Oh, you had me fooled, fake bratty.
Is it fake?
Ugh. Yes. She has 2 P's in her name. You're gross. You had me fooled. Right. I don't believe you. Say something only I know then, bratty. Right, you delete that.
I laugh if she like legitimately tweets out, "Fuck! What happened? Who the fuck?"
Hello, bratty. Hello.
Yeah, with 9 subs, I doubt it. You'd be on the actual Brady account. Let's be real. Let's not play. People be going on the profile seeing them DDLG videos. Let's be honest.
Excuse me. Hello? It's really her. She said she got timed out. She said, I'm so sad. What? You're on speaker.
Like, it's not her. No, I'm like, oh my god. Okay, get back to your show. I love you.
It was her.
Wait, I didn't see your message, Beat It. I'm sorry. Okay, if I saw it, it is her. Guys, we jump into conclusions here. I put her in timeout. Well, it's only 300 seconds.
So that's hilarious.
Thank God one of my team did it. I was actually gonna like ban her account, which would have been awkward. So it is the bratty that shitted. Yeah, that actually does make sense.
That's why I thought it was her, because she said I did the shit, and I'm like, okay, that's bratty.
Yeah, it sounds like bratty. Yeah, it's true. Well, thank you for joining, bratty. I appreciate it. So yeah, where were we? But like, yeah, what do you think about that? Like the idea that there are people who are very immersed into this community because of the idea of like being able to relive high school, being able to be back in that kind of premise.
I think some of them want that experience. They want to relive high school, and they want to be part of like the cool crowd, or they want to be part of the starters. Like it all depends on what they want to relive or live for the first time.
I see that with producers too. Like I see certain producers that will like tip people they think are cool, and when those people stop being cool, they stop tipping. Yep. Like it's weird like that, isn't it? Like it's really like I don't know.
Well, you remember there was producers that were saying, you know, like that were dictating who's going to be popular, who's going to be on top.
Right. What his name? Oh, what was his name again? Lucifer. He went into Bratty's stream and was like giving a shit and like saying, "Oh yeah, certain people need to be removed from the pecking order." Like, bro, you calm down. You know, you're like.
So let me get your opinion on this real quick.
Okay.
The whole thing, like, I'll tell you my opinion, and then I want to get your opinion. So,
All right.
Bratty being the queen of You
Okay.
know, a lot of people state like, oh, she's conceited, she's stuck up, like she's no fucking queen, like all this shit. But for me, I kind of see it like from when I saw her the first time, which like I said, over a year ago, like the fans are the ones that really made that persona grow. You know, the fans are the ones that really made this whole thing of her being this queen and, you know, following her and doing, you know, being her dragons and actually abiding by what she wanted to do, you know, with her fans. So what do you think, like just that, like I think that the fans are what made this persona big.
All right.
What do you think about that? Just the whole fact that this person is.
I think for anybody who's kind of looking from outside in, they're going to see it in a bad way. A lot of people are going to be like, you know, why is she self-conceited? Why does she refer to herself as royalty? Why does he refer to himself as a princess? Like, what is this? What's going on? You know, and it's, I mean, same for me. People are like, why you call yourself Loki? Why you call yourself a god? Like, you know, why? Like, it happens to me too. Like, so I definitely get that, and it is people who kind of develop these characters. Like, but we are the ones who choose to stick to those characters. You know,
right?
So if we play up to it, then we should understand that we are jumping into that territory. And boy, do I play up to it. I'll tell you that, Poet. You know what I mean? I love playing up to it and telling people, oh yeah, sure guys, I'm a god, I'm Jesus, I'm a son of God. You know, it's funny. People get fucking triggered, and then people are like, Jesus wasn't white, and they'll start shouting at me and stuff, which is great. But yeah, I mean, it is definitely a sense of humor, but I think one thing that a lot of people, I guess, who are new, especially people who are newer to this app, they don't realize there is a pecking order on here. And if you're somebody at the top of the pecking order, you've worked your way, you've got to the top, then yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily, like, some people may view it as like demanding respect, and maybe for some people it is the case. It's more the fact that you've earned that, like you've worked your butt off, right? Like that's really the way of looking at it. So like, I'm having an issue with some dude in a competition right now, and he's this new guy on the block from YouTube, thinks he's hot shit, and yeah, he's like treating me like I'm just like a nobody, and it really puts things in I think that like really roughed me up the wrong way. Like, if I'm gonna like get inside my own brain a little bit right now, I've got to a point now where I expect people to treat me with respect and to treat me as a person of my standing on YouNow, which it might sound ludicrous, but I have a reputation. You know, I've built that up. I've worked very, very hard for that. And for people to basically spit in my face, it ain't cool. You know. And I see streamers. I saw Braddy put on a tweet recently about like how somebody like spat in her face, and I completely get it. Like, I can completely get it. Like, disrespecting somebody, it happens, you know? It happens. And I think a lot of us as streamers, we expect more now. The expectations are there. Whether that's, like, good of us that we expect that or not, I can't really say. I feel like it's very subjective, isn't it?
It is, but we've worked very hard to get to where we are, you know? And for somebody to just come out of nowhere and shit on us, it's like, dude, like, I've been here for years, literally.
I think it's really important to kind of keep our egos in check when we're like doing this stuff. We got to really keep ourselves grounded, and we got to keep ourselves humble. Yeah. Exactly. Being humble is really important. When you start saying that you are better than everybody else, when you start saying that there is, like, it's one thing to call yourself a god or a queen or a king or a princess, but it's another thing to legitimately say outright, I'm better than everybody else. I'm the top, like, I'm the top dog. And that's not really fair to say. I feel like there are people who are top in different ways. You know, there are people who are, you know, the top earners, the top people who get views, the people who create the, you know, the most interesting, like the entertaining content, the funny content, the intellectual content. There's loads of different categories full of loads of different people, you know, and that's so varied. So there are many categories that me and you aren't even in the same category for, you know, and that's what makes YouNow kind of more, makes it interesting. It makes actually just like on like social media in general interesting. I mean, whether you're on Instagram, YouTube, anything, like there's going to be so many different communities and so much things going on, and I think that's dope.
Right, Ella.
Isn't it? It must be really weird though for like new people when they join this app. I do wonder if the way that we act on broadcast, the way that we kind of expect this, expect that, whether that like actually stops people from wanting to be on the app. Like people maybe get like nervous or scared.
Like, see, I don't know. I don't think that, because
I'm not saying that I think it. I'm saying it's like on my mind. Like, is this possible? Is it not? Like, I'm unsure about it. You know?
Like, are we adding to the decline of the viewerships?
Right. But then again,
I think there are people that do add the negative aspect to it, where people don't feel safe.
Right.
So if it comes into a chat, like a lot of people that go to that platform have anxiety, have depression, have something. Yeah. You know, enables them to want to be there rather than in the real world. So when you get new people that stop by and they just, you know, watch, like if we act a certain way towards them, they're going to be hesitant to want to come back because now they're nervous. And I understand that. So us as partners and broadcasters, you know, even non-partners, have to be more comfortable with letting people in to see what we do rather than being so guarded and, you know, just upfront sometimes. Yeah. But I think it's also important for us to be real on there and actually show that side of us, and not, you know, stepping on eggshells and stuff. Like, but I think there are some people that scare people away, that, you know, talk about the platform as if it is high school and talk shit about people, and then people are like, okay, I don't want to be involved in that. Like, I already left high school.
But then again, there's also another side of people. There's just as you talked about, like mental health and people with anxiety and depression. There's a lot of people who use this as an escape, and it becomes so real to them that when these problems arise, like for example, if somebody attacked you on the platform or somebody attacked me, they are in a frenzy. They're frothing from the mouth. They're getting ready for a battle because it has become so real to them. Because because obviously I'm somebody who can say this. You know, first account. I mean, I came to this platform originally, and I was heavily depressed, and YouNow became my life in a sense, which is kind of sad to say, but it's fact. It became my life, and for somebody to try to fuck with my life, it's like it's. Of course, people are going to react poorly. People are going to react without restraint, and you know, say things that are unnecessary. Right? It's kind of like the situation at hand. But is it all? Yeah, exactly. YouNow is kind of seen as this sanctuary in a sense. So it's both sides, isn't it? People are like, oh yeah, we don't want to be on here, but there's some people who they kind of like this clique dynamic. They like feeling like they're a part of a squad or a group. It's about acceptance, Poet, isn't it? It's about acceptance, and a lot of people in this world don't feel like they're accepted, and I guess this is an opportunity for those people to feel like they belong.
They belong to something. You know, it's true, exactly what you just said. But they feel like they're part of something, and they're not just, you know, a nobody. You know, sort of say, because a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm just nobody, like it's nothing in the real world, whatever. You know, it is what it is. Right. But then when you come to that platform, because we're so inviting, and because I think that there is kind of like a squad mentality on, you know, I do think that people, like, not so much a squad mentality, but like things like to get grouped together. Like the minute somebody gets partnered, they make a name for their people. You know, it's like, it's already thought of, like, you have to come up with a name. Right. And then when you get a subbind, it's like, okay, now are you going to really be part of this squad? And
it's like, it's the subculture of YouNow. Right, yeah.
Really. But I don't think it's a bad thing, because I think it does bring people collectively together to feel like they're part of something. But that
I mean, there was one major issue, and that's that there's a lot of people who are unwell, who are vulnerable, and people take advantage of that. And it happens a lot. And the amount of people I've had DM me, the amount of people I've had contact me over the last year who have been vulnerable people who've been going through awful things, cancer treatments, people who've been suicidal, depressed, battling self-harm, so many different things. And they come to me and say, this person has used me. This person has lied to me. This person has manipulated me. Yeah. That's one thing that's very, very scary about YouNow, is it seems like there is, maybe not across the board, but there, well, maybe actually, yeah, but it doesn't obviously involve everybody, and it doesn't involve most people, but there is this subculture to YouNow where, you know, there are vulnerable people, and, you know,
There are broadcasters.
Let's
I
take
think
advantage of that. That's what it is. It's the idea of kind of taking advantage of these vulnerable people, and you see people doing that. You know, it's scary. I wouldn't recommend it to the faint of heart. Right. Like,
it's really not. It's one of those, like, you swim or you sink. You know, like, you have to, like,
right.
If you sink, then you will stay at the bottom of the ocean by yourself. Like,
yeah. Can I ask you? Let's move it to that. So, like, a lot of people don't realize this, but if you like logged off for a week, it would not be great when you got back, would it?
No, you would. You know, I took 4 days off one time,
right.
and luckily, I am very sporadic with my broadcasting at times, so people are okay and used to that.
Right.
But there was a time where I broadcasted every day, you know, for a couple of months. And when I took like 3 days off, I came back and I lost like 15 subs, and I just didn't have the amount of people that came back so quickly. You know, it took a few minutes for people to realize I was on, rather than the people who were waiting for me to.
People are surprised when I say that I'm worried about like jumping off, but I had a sinus infection a couple of months ago, Poet. I took 4 days off. I came back. I had lost, I think it was like 30 or so subscribers, 40 subscribers in total. And my audience size was, I down pretty about that many people actually, and it was it was a huge shock to me. Like, wow, these people. I mean, not saying that all these people unsubscribed due to that reason, but it's like a portion of them most likely did. A portion of these people unsubscribed to me because I was sick and took time off. Like, wow.
Well, I also think that if it could be coincidence that their sub ends at that moment, and because you're not on, they don't remember, like, oh wait, I don't have the sticker, let me get it back. Or, you know, remember.
I don't know if that's really fair to say though, because most people have automatic renew on. The only way that you unsub is by choosing to unsub. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that is true too, but I do believe there's some people that, because like when I lost a few subs, like when I took that time
I know
off,
it's a coincidence for some, but 40 people, 20 people, 15 people, it's not going to be every single one of those people where it's a coincidence. It's probably going to be maybe a portion, like 30% of them, 40% of them, like, I don't know, 50%. Still going to be quite a few people who did do that. And I think that's one thing I do want to say. Just there's a lot of weight stacked on the streamer's shoulders, because if you do not stay consistent, you will fall off.
Right.
You will sink.
Well, because there's viewers that are using this, you know, as a way to cope with their own stuff, to get away from their own life, and they see it. If you're consistent, then they are consistent, you know, with something in their life. So when we don't stay consistent, they're like, fuck, I need to find somebody else that I can watch. I have this time and I'm already used to YouNow. So they find the next person. And then if that person's entertaining to them and they stay with them, more than likely they're not going to come back as often or need to sub line, because they're not going to view us as much, you know. So consistency plays a very big part in being successful on YouNow. Absolutely.
And also, it's the fact that if you kind of disappear, some of your supporters might just stop using YouNow in completion. You've definitely got supporters that specifically watch you, or specifically watch like SLS, right? I have people who specifically watch me. If I was to disappear for a week or something, they might stop using YouNow. Potentially, like, who knows? It's a prospect of that happening, and that's kind of, or they will stop being as active. So when I do come back, they won't be watching as much. They won't be as aware as much, and that obviously that's going to affect kind of my growth and my stimulation in having engagement and stuff like that. But on speaking on views, and this is a question you've been asked many times, but I kind of want to dig a little bit deeper with this, and I really want to understand your mindset on this. A lot of people say that you didn't really build your own support network, that you're just like, you got success off somebody else, and now obviously that person being Braddy. Like, how does it feel having like people say that to you, that you're not self-made? Well, I hate saying that because it's like, Ryan's thing, but like, the idea of you building yourself and building your own brand.
Well, okay, so with that, I've dealt with that specific question many times on this platform, and to be truthfully honest, if anyone who's watched me from the begining, they know that it's not the case. Right, I literally built up my fan base. I wasn't guesting as much with Braddy at this point. I wasn't, wasn't doing a lot of the things that me and her do now, like our beef show and all this other stuff. Like,
But
we wouldn't do that.
there was one thing you were doing, wasn't there? You were like obviously contributing a lot to her and other people, so you were getting got a lot of fans through that.
I think that happens to anybody who supports them, because when you support somebody, they're gonna fan you up.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that, and I'm not saying that it's bad to do that. I'm just saying there is obviously the case where you was gaining something big without having to guess. It isn't really all about guessing, is it? Like, association is everything. If you associate with the right people, it's really, really good.
Right, and I don't disagree that I might have gotten a lot of fans from her. Absolutely, right. I know I did.
Right.
Because of association to her, but I didn't join the SLS until I had a fan base that was. Yeah.
You were very adamant about that as well, weren't you? You made sure that was something that. And why do you think that it got to you that people were saying that?
No, I didn't want that to be over my head. I didn't want the questions to be, "Oh, you joined SLS for support or for the fans or to gain this and that." I wanted to make sure that I was successful.
So you
reading
did.
My and having people watch it.
So you did care about that then? You did care about, like, you didn't want to have to deal with that. You wanted to be able to kind of hold your head high, and
I wanted to be able to dismiss it. You know, like if they can say like, okay, you got all these fans because of Brady, I wanted to be able to dismiss it.
Right.
And if they wanted to believe that, they could. You know, like I don't care if people think that, because people obviously do think that. But I wanted to make sure that before I joined SLS, I had a support system of my own, and I did have supporters that were.
And you do,
supporting me, didn't support them, and I had viewers that were watching me that didn't always go to them, you know, that I didn't get from them, and that's when the whole poetry thing blew up for me, and I became successful.
I think mainly the people who say these kind of things are people who are new or newer. They see obviously you've got a successful show with Brady. You've got Abuse. And they see that you guys kind of work together and associate yourselves a lot. I'm guessing they just kind of jump to conclusions. Obviously, with her being, the queen and you being the princess, it's just assumed, isn't it? And I think it is. It must be annoying. It must be really annoying.
It is annoying, and it doesn't like mentally get to me. It just is annoying that
it's a pain in the ass, right?
It's just annoying because people the subculture of this platform on YouNow is that. Once they have an opinion and it's not based off of facts or based off of something that came out of my mouth, they will run it around like wildfire. And then a whole group of people will have the same opinion. And then they just run in groups of this opinion. And it's like, it's not based off of anything but to be jealous or to be malicious because you don't like the person, which is fine not to like people. But like I said, that's why I waited to join SLS so that I had something successful like a Poet's Corner and had my followers that were there for.
I wouldn't say it's all about hate or negativity. I think it's also like them being misinformed as well. I think that's a really, really big one.
I don't agree with that because there's been partners on this platform that have spoke about me, literally started speaking negatively about me the minute I joined SLS. Right. And I never had a problem with this person.
And that's because you join a group, and obviously by associating yourself with that group, you become a part of what they consider a problem. It's crazy to think though that like just associating yourself with a broadcaster, being friends with somebody, can cause you so many problems. But
absolutely,
but it's been worth it, right? Obviously you're very close to Brady. You pretty much do everything together.
Positives outweigh the negatives for me. But it's also kind of normalcy for me because it's been dramatic on this platform since the day I got here.
Are you used to it now? Would you say? Are you?
I am used to it, which is why now I can actually hold my tongue a little bit more.
Can I ask you? I don't know if you suffer from anxiety or have any issues like that, but were you stressed out? Were you was there any times like when you started that you were breaking down? And the main question I want to ask is now, today, are you able to handle these kind of situations a lot better? Like, are you able to deal with this immense kind of pressure, people coming at you from different sides?
I think in the beginning, I think definitely I might have gained some anxiety from this platform.
Right.
I think I absolutely gained some kind of anxiety.
Right.
It's not social or that I can't, go outside or anything like that, but I have some anxiety issues now.
Wondering if today is going to be the day that something's going to be posted about you or some new rumor.
Every day there was something posted about me on Twitter. Every single day. I couldn't do anything on YouNow without it being recorded, superimposed, and then wrote some stupid line that didn't make no sense to anybody. Like, it was just the annoyance of that kind of got me to be anxious. Like, oh shit, are they gonna post something else now? Like, why do I have to keep on in this person's mouth?
Did you ever consider quitting over it?
Did I? Yeah, absolutely, I did. I did. There was a time where I took about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, I was thinking I was gonna leave. It's when I was traveling, when I went to Canada, and then I went to Brady, and I was just like, in my head, I was just like, you know what? Is it really gonna be worth it? Like, I made some amazing friendships. I'll stay with those friendships outside of YouNow. Do I really need to be on there for all the harassment? But then I thought, you know, we also are, you know, social media influencers. You know,
Right.
there are things that we do that people follow.
Yeah.
And if I did that, it would just kind of give in to everybody else it's their first day and they're trying to make it through by being with them. And I didn't want to be that example. So I worked through it. I worked through my anxiety. I worked through, you know, trying to feel better and finding like the silver lining out of everything. And I stood.
Did it affect your physical health at all? Did it like, did you have sleepless nights? Was there any kind of like did anything really occur that made things tougher for you, like outside of just anxiety?
Well, I mean, my personal life got affected.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
Separated. You know.
Yeah. Wait, you separated due to everything that was going on YouNow?
Yeah. Partially. I mean, it's not like
yeah, but it was one of the reasons, like maybe like the straw that broke the camel's back, maybe.
Right. It was one of those things like, okay, like it was brought to my attention that, you know, I chose to do this and my family did not. You know, my family didn't choose to be in the spotlight. And they were brought into it and they were doxxed and there was pictures and there was, you know, addresses and all this stuff that was just brought up that was like, wow, like it's true. Like they didn't choose to be part of this community, but because somebody wanted to be, you know, just crazy and go through, you know, people's past and find stuff.
Yeah. And
then, you know, post stuff, it's like it does put a strain on your actual life.
Right. Yeah. That sucks, man. And so you broke up over that. I mean, I'm assuming you're okay with your family now, you know.
Yeah. My family's cool. You know, yeah, we did separate. We're not officially divorced yet, but we are separated.
Yeah.
We still are very good friends. It ended very well because we didn't. There wasn't no hate or animosity between us. It was just I chose this life, and you know and so I had to respect that.
That's crazy though. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how long were you guys married for? Like together? 14 years.
14 years together. Married for about 10.
Oh my god! And
it was very hard. It was very hard.
I just want to say, like, you must have such a strong will to be what you are today, to be a streamer on here like this, to drop. I mean, obviously you said there were other reasons, but it really shows how important YouNow is and streaming is to you, and this, not necessarily this lifestyle, but like this choice that you've made. It's a huge choice. It's a bigger choice than I think anybody here really realized.
And I mean, to be very clear, like I didn't choose this over him, but I've gotten so from YouNow that I'm not the same person I was before YouNow. You know, I have a lot more confidence in myself, and I have a lot more respect for the craft that I do.
Okay.
And I have a lot more respect for different people, and I've learned.
What do you mean the craft? You mean the YouNow craft, the craft of being a streamer?
Like my writing, like I didn't fully appreciate my writing until I came to you.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I forgot about that. Sorry. No, but I mean that's so you gain a lot of confidence. You gain more respect for your craft. What else? Is there anything else?
Well, you know, the fact of, you know, anxiety and mental health. You know, that I never knew any of those things because they didn't affect me. I never really cared. You know what I mean? Like
you've been educated by this app, is what you're trying to say. You've been educated. I completely, dude. When I started this app, I was a moron, really, and I've had so many great people kind of push me forward, just as like people have pushed, you know, great people have pushed you forward. It's beautiful. That craft, right, Roxy, right.
What Shan just said. That's the funny thing. Now, like my ex respects it. Now he actually sees like what YouNow has brought to me, and this is not a problem anymore. But because of the doxing and all that stuff, like there was nothing else I could do. Like I had to like part ways, because if not, these people that stalk me and harass me, like it's gonna trickle down to other people that I know.
You thought it would just be safer and better as well. That was another thing. That's such a hard like choice to make, man. A lot of respect. That's tough. And I don't think anybody would realize that this could all come from being a live streamer.
Yeah.
On, you know, Hollywood's high school. You know, it's pretty much like I don't think anybody would assume that this could be, you know, in the back of their mind, this could be possible. I don't know.
They would not even. No, I'm telling you, if people don't know this experience, they're either lucky, or they need to, so that they can build up a thicker skin, because it definitely builds up your skin to be able to do a lot of things. A lot of things.
And now a lot of the things that would have like caused you discomfort and anxiety back then, you can just shrug off now. Easy peasy. Same with me. Same with me. And like I was had people messaging me after last night. I had a little situation, and people were like, "Oh, are you okay, Loki? Are you okay? You feeling all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I feel great. I'm gonna eat some chicken." Like, you know, it doesn't bother me anymore, because I'm so used to it. I mean, I had that whole feud with Ryan, and I got used to a lot of things with that. I got used to loads of different things happening. So like, it's really made me a stronger person, give me thicker skin. I can definitely see that it's the same for you and many other streamers on here, which is great to see. Oh god, I just dropped something. Oh god.
The positives outweigh the negatives for me, honestly.
So what about privatizing your Twitter? Your Twitter's been privatized for a long time. Is that just privacy concerns? Are you worried that people are gonna like contact people through you?
Yeah, well, it was because people were taking like what I was writing and making it about other people, and it was people that were viewing it that I'm not even friends with on there. So it's like, why are you so concerned with my tweet when I'm not one of those people that really subtweets people? I might every now and then, if it's really like something that's bothering me, I might. But if it's somebody, you'll most likely see a subtweet to somebody that I respect, and I don't want to at them. But people that I just literally just come off and be like, "Yo, your fucking show is stupid. Like, all you do is talk about me." I'll say who it is if I have to, but I don't feel the need to do that. I don't really use Twitter just to vent and, you know, put negativity out there. But I will call bitches out. Like, I was about
to say you do vent sometimes.
I do, but I mean,
a lot of people do. A lot of people do. A lot of people vent
to someone. You know, it's more of like what I'm feeling.
Yeah, it's like getting inside. It's like your diary essentially. It's like an entry, and no, I can fuck with that. Yeah, a lot of people don't like subtweets. I mean, I try to stay away from it. But I don't know.
But I have to apologize for that, because they were
like,
this was in the beginning. Like it's been such a habit for me to keep it private, because in the beginning
you made it public again recently, and then you privated it again. Why?
Because I wound up getting hit with like 200 people that fan followed me, and about 20 of them were haters, and they were just there just to get what I say and report it back to somebody else. And I was like, this is what I.
Wait, what? Is there an army of people right now? Like,
there always is. It never stops. It never stops. They hide it better now, but it never stops.
I know, obviously, you're a part of a group, but it feels more like a kingdom sometimes. SLS. It feels like it's like a kingdom. Do you feel like you're in a constant state of war?
I feel like I have to constantly have my guard up. I have to be ready to serve it back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's what it seems like. It seems like you're in a constant state of war where you have to always be prepared. You always have to be ready to charge out with your sword and shield and get into the fray. It seems there's very little peace usually, and it seems there's always somebody who wants a piece of you by the looks of it.
It's really hard to be popular on that site, because it doesn't come with just, you know,
positive
chocolate and roses. You know, it comes with a lot of fucking backlash, and it comes with a lot of bullshit that people.
I don't think it's just like this website, just YouNow. I feel like YouTubers get the same kind of treatment. Like this YouTube drama is crazy. Like, have you seen it? Like, oh my god. And I feel it's just as bad, if not probably worse, on there. But I think that's the thing about life. Like, no matter, you know, if we want great things, we're gonna have to go through a lot of shit to get there. And I'd like to say that, like, live streaming in general is very bittersweet. You know, it's a very it's a very bittersweet kind of concept. That's great, Shan. Thanks for that.
So whatever.
So are you gonna keep it private? Is that
no, I think I'm gonna go back to opening it. I mean, I
remember
think I was body when I opened it, and I was like, "There's no point in me having like I'm a social media personality, you know. Like I need to have things open for people to just see."
Yeah,
so
I remember you said. I'm pretty sure I remember you saying like that you didn't want to like hide and you want it to kind of be out there more. Like I could definitely, yeah, I can fuck with that. I think that's good, and you're gonna get. I mean, we all get hate, you know. I think obviously some people more than others, but
yeah, but I got it for 3 months straight every day. Like it was really bad. It was really bad.
I've had Instagram pages made about me, Poet. It's
oh, I know.
Yeah, I've had memes made of me. Like it's it's a lot, but there is a thing that you can do on Instagram to stop people from like contacting you, and you can make it so people can't DM you and stuff. Like you can be public, but not allow people to associate with you unless they like follow you and stuff like that. And those people are like kind of like it's easier to deal with. It's easier to like micromanage, I guess. I definitely suggest anybody kind of do that. Oh shit, I love Loki on YouTube or something. Arthur, how you doing, man? But yeah. So, what do you think are like the main changes of actually like becoming a live streamer? Because there have been. I mean, you used to have a full-time job. You were married. Like there was obviously there were lots of other things in regards to your kind of your mental and physical state, but like what have really been the main changes? Because I mean, you stream at certain times. Like
I think the changes obviously not having an actual 9 to 5.
Okay.
I am going back to work very soon.
Can I ask? Do you like not being on a 9 to 5? Do you like being like?
No, I liked working partially because it kept me busy. I feel like I have a lot of time, and then I don't have enough time now. Like it's very weird.
I mean, streaming. You can be busy if you want to. Like you could like go live, and then you could like make videos, and you could like
absolutely,
do this.
Absolutely. But I think also working gave me, since I am one of those people that does speak about my life. It added more context, to my content.
Right.
And I was able to speak about experiences that I was doing, at the clinic and stuff, and it made for interesting conversation.
Yeah.
But I do, like I said, I am going back, but obviously this time I'm not going to tell anybody.
Yeah, you said that in my stream, didn't you? That you weren't going to talk about your job because obviously with what happened last time, we don't want to repeat it, And for anybody,
I'm not sure anything about that because I don't need anybody contacting my job and sending them a moment of me talking about penis or drinking or something. Like, no.
Right. It's a little bit too much. Like I do definitely get that. But I mean, so what about your sleeping schedule? Is it pretty much the same as it used to be? Like I'm assuming it's not. I'm assuming you're probably waking up like the time I wake up.
Yeah, I mean my sleeping schedule is really off. I've always had problems sleeping in general. But because of YouNow, like I would always stay up later.
Right.
And I found myself staying up till like 5 in the morning and then sleeping till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and because I didn't have a day job.
Right.
But now I'm finding that I start to talk in my sleep, and in my sleep, I'm broadcasting. It's so weird. It's very, very weird. I wake up literally like if I'm broadcasting. It's so weird.
You feel like you're in a constant state of streaming. Is that what you're trying to say? You feel like Big Brother kind of shit. You getting those vibes?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
because my life has become so YouNow. Like my life is.
Yeah. Is that something that like freaks you out?
What?
Is that something that like freaks you out? That like your life has become
It did. I mean, it happened with Brady. She got to witness it where I was like talking to her foot, and I thought it was my phone, and I was streaming. And it wasn't.
No.
Yeah, it was really bad, and I still find it like even last night.
You sure it wasn't just the alcohol? Like, I mean,
no, we didn't even drink that day.
Oh my god!
No,
the day off.
Last night, like I was sleeping and I realized I'm talking in my sleep, and when I wake up, I like folded my pillow like it was the laptop. Like,
oh no, no! Oh my god! I mean, honestly, there are certain things that I do. Like, when I talk to Abby, I'll be like, "So, guys, anyway," and then I'll start off by like how I speak to my audience. So I'll be like, hello, boys and girls. It's like it's just me, Josh. Oh fuck! Like I do that kind of stuff. It's really weird. Abby legitimately fucking trolls me for it as well, and I'll call myself a Lowkeyloki instead of calling myself Josh. I feel like I'm not even kidding. I'll legitimately call myself Loki by accident. Like, and it's just clicked into my mind. I'm like, sorry, Josh, not Loki. Yeah. It happens, man, and. It's so, honestly it's so weird sometimes. I feel like it's very difficult for me to split the two. Very difficult. I mean, for me, I'm okay with it because this is what I want my life to be. Like, this is what I want from my life. This is like when I'm 90 years old, I want to be streaming my funeral. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's
Right.
maybe or however old, but like it's. So what's the name of this document? Loki, no, Josh. Yeah, exactly, legit. Like I will call myself Loki. It's really odd. It's really odd. But yeah, so you really want to get back into work. I'm excited for that. That's gonna be really cool. How do you think it's gonna affect like live streaming?
I think I'm gonna be broadcasting at night. Probably like 8:30. I'll go back to when I was working. I used to stream 3 days a week at 8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go back to that, and then just I need that normalcy back for me because I've worked my whole life. So for me not to be working like the typical 9 to 5.
So
it's
Poet. Right now you do 1 stream a day, correct?
I kind of like do a stream and then I'll take the next day off sometimes.
Oh,
like
so
I do every.
You stream every other day currently. But obviously you obviously do guest sessions sometimes and stuff like that. So yeah, you usually make normally a daily appearance,
Yeah, well, if it's my day off from live streaming, then I'll go and I'll guest with somebody.
Oh yeah, yeah. So in out, shake it all about. Yeah, that's cool. And I guess that's the thing is I see streamers who go live a lot. I mean, Brady's she got a great work ethic. She goes like 2 times a day, sometimes 3. It's like.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do that. I can't do that.
I cannot do that.
Because I mean, think about it. It's not even about like the workload, because I think the workload is something that people can handle, like being live for that amount of time. But it's about like scheduling every single day of your life. That at this time you do this. It must be very kind of crazy to some people. Maybe some other people it's cool, but like, oh, I have to be awake at this time and I have to be doing this at this time, and then I get this amount of hours to do what I need to do today, and then I've got to go live and then later again. And this is like a day-to-day thing. I mean, very rarely do we ever have days off. We usually stream most of the time, right? Day in, day out. So it's, yeah, exactly. 2089 Loki interviewing himself. Exactly. There you go. Loki interviewing the coffin.
Do you think that is this a job for you?
Yeah. It's not a job, it's a career for me. It's a career choice. That's the way that I look at like what I do. I want to one day have a big YouTube following. I want to be hopefully on radio. I hopefully have like a serious production show where I have like an on scene group. I want to have a production team and have like a makeup artist who does the makeup of the guests, and I have them on like Conan style shit, but actually run it myself, so I'm not going through a company or an organization, and then having sponsors that I can have on the show that can like pay most of the costs and stuff like that. Like look at like Shane Dawson. He has like sponsors and shit. He makes like tens of thousands of dollars from sponsors on his videos because of so many people who watch. If I can get to that level and have my own sponsors, it'll pay for most of the wages for the show.
That's a good goal.
And I could be self-sufficient. And I think a lot of entertainment is becoming self-sufficient. It's becoming self-sustainable. We're not going as much through TV stations, corporations. Is it the dog?
Yeah. Hi. Come here. Let's say hi.
Oh, look at those big ears.
Is Gallifrey here? Gallifrey, look. I brought him for you. Look.
Emoji, you in the house?
Can you say hi?
He's beautiful.
Oh. Look at that face. Look at that face. Hi. You're shaking?
Honestly, I'm really happy that you had like such a great run in that competition. It's just like knowing that you've had to like fork out and spend so much on vet bills recently is, I think it's a huge relief to everybody that it's going to be a little bit easier for you to kind of cope, because spending that like sort of money is can be a huge kind of, it can cause a lot of problems. And I mean, you are right now dependent on YouNow for your for your earnings, so.
And that's so scary to realize, you know,
right?
To be,
and that's what would you say that's one of the main things that's wanting to, you know, for you to get back into work?
Say that again.
Would you say that this feeling that you're experiencing right now as a streamer, not worrying about your next, worrying about your next paycheck, is one of the main reasons why you're looking to get back into work, 9 to 5?
That is definitely one of the major reasons, is because I don't like to rely, on the site, only because it goes up and down so often.
Yeah.
And I can't live that. I can't live like that. Like, that's not something I'm accustomed to.
Yeah.
I've done this because I've worked my whole life, and I was enjoying the time off and being able to stream and do like what I now love to do.
But now you're ready to get back into it again. And
absolutely, I think I can incorporate the two again. You know, the way I did when I first started. I think I can go back to that.
I think a lot of streamers, they're not really too sure about the next step, are they? That's one thing I really do kind of want to touch on. Like, how do you feel about the next step? Do you think you're always going to be a YouNow streamer, or always at this level? Is there any goals?
I think that I will stay on YouNow till I have to leave. Either, the site closes, or I just
it stops. Yeah, exactly. Right.
But I'm not going to be run off, and I'm not going to get to the point where I don't like it, because I absolutely adore streaming, and the connections that I make with people on a daily basis is amazing. And it's something that you don't get in the real world.
So you're telling me that the position that you're at right now, you're comfortable with it? You're content?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't need to be, extremely, more successful.
Yeah.
I would like to stay at the same level that I am, that I'm comfortable here.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to be super.
So your goals, your ambition is more with your real, like your actual job title in the real world. Would you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Moving up in that.
Don't get me wrong. I like being popular. Yeah, it's nice.
No, but I'm talking about next level. Like, what is your priority right now? And it's definitely.
Well, I mean, as far as streaming. Me and Brady are trying to get in contact with people so that we can do a podcast.
I remember you saying that. That sounds exciting. I can
definitely do that. My goal is to have a podcast on XM radio.
Okay.
So kind of on radio, and actually have this kind of Howard Stern inappropriate kind of conversation with the world.
Honestly, there are so many. There are shows out there, radio shows that are about like relationships, men. Like a woman and a gay guy doing a show together, like on something like around that kind of topic, talking about love and like men and cheating and all that kind of sleazy kind of all that craziness. I think that'd be awesome, like something like that. Like you guys would definitely need to think about like what you want it to be about. Is it just gonna be kind of like standard conversations? Are you guys gonna make it more specific? Are you guys gonna prepare? Are you guys gonna improvise it? Like,
we are going to have topics of discussion that we
that's going to be exciting. I think you guys could really do that. You're both very confident, charismatic, and also just using your voice. You're going to be in the same room, just talking to each other. It's going to feel really, really free flowing. All you got to do is forget that the audience is listening, and
that's the thing, though. There's so many times that I'm sitting with Brady, like face to face, and we're having this off the wall conversation that's fucking hilarious. And I look at her and I'm like, why the fuck aren't we live streaming this? Like, this is fucking hilarious.
Right.
We're like, okay, we can't do it on YouNow because a lot of it is inappropriate, or, we're talking about penis and vaginas and shit. So it's just like, okay, we can't do it there. So we're like, the best next thing is to go and get a podcast.
And like an advice column concept would be really, really interesting. Advice to women who are, for women and gay men, and just people in general as well. Like, it'd be really fucking cool. You get a lot of viewers from that. People are really into that. It's a big.
So we're definitely looking into that. We're definitely trying to see the first step of becoming, podcasters, and then see we're seriously trying to get on XM radio. Like, it seems like that's a really good place to end up and be successful at.
Right.
So that's our goal. That is going to be our goal for 2019. Her and myself are going to just stomp the street and see like what we can.
I'm so happy to hear that you guys have got a goal. I feel like there's so many streamers who don't have that ambition. I see it all the time. Like the main ambition they have is, oh, I want to be a bigger streamer on YouNow. I want to get editor's choice. I want to get like a sub button. I want to get to like 200 subs. And that seems to be like the main ambition that they have. But that's so small, really. In when you look into the world, YouNow's not necessarily going to be here in the next 10 years, 5 years, maybe not even here in 2 years. We don't know. We don't.
It's a stepping stone. You know, it's like a step in the right direction. And
Right.
once you get confident to stream live and to have that kind of content,
Right.
then you go and take that experience and go to the next thing. You know, like I said, for me, it's podcasting. That's where I want to end up and have a very successful radio show. You know, that's with what we do. Like I feel like it's opened my eyes on what I can do from being on YouNow. You know,
Right.
learning that I can actually be confident speaking about the things I speak about,
Right.
and not have to be like filtered. You know, like I don't like to be filtered.
I mean, you will need to filter yourself a little bit for like radio, but
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I can't be like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking fuck your husband and kill his wife. Like, no, like that.
I mean, you gotta be. I think obviously some stations are different than others, like rules with profanity, stuff like that. You'd have to definitely look into that, but I'm sure you.
Well, I would obviously pick the one that's gonna work with our time.
Right.
Like, clearly, they're gonna allow us to talk about penis and vagina.
That's the thing, though. You do have to jump through a lot of hoops in order to get to where you want to be. So that's one thing you guys will have to really think about. You may not be able to jump straight to the top of like and be on this big radio station, have this big kind of concept without jumping through hoops first. You know.
And I don't mind putting in the work to have that experience of that road.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
going through, I don't mind starting at the bottom and earning my wings, kind of thing. You know, like I want to do.
I mean, you've done that. You've done that once. You know, do it again, right? You've done that on YouNow. So,
absolutely.
And it could be exciting. But yeah, honestly, that's really all for today, Poet. This has been incredible. This has been awesome. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. We've been on for just under an hour and a half now. I told you it was probably gonna be about an hour. It didn't, did it? It didn't. I feel like we could talk for hours, but I don't want the YouTube video to be too long. I don't want to repeat to be too long. But it's been.
Go and edit it now. Like, are you gonna edit this so that it's shorter, or?
Nah, it's just gonna be okay. raw and uncut. Part 2, maybe. Who knows? Right.
That's cool. No, Loki, thank you for having me. This was really interesting. It feels very conversational. You know, like we're having
it's different from the summit, isn't it? It's different.
Absolutely.
It's different. It's got a different vibe to it, and I think it's a good vibe as well. Like, so the summit's good for like scandals and like the really like crazy oh my fucking god shit, but this is more of like, let me pick your brain and let's learn new things together. Let's learn new things about each other, and the audience can be involved in it. Effing amazing. Fuck yeah. Thank you, Beat It. So yeah, Poet, are you planning on going live today at all?
What's today? Saturday?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I might go live tomorrow. I think we're gonna be doing the thing with Crab. He's gonna stop by and do his tour.
Yeah, I need to do that with him as well. I need to do that with him too. He does it pretty late, so I'm not usually on. But yeah, honestly, Poet, thank you for being on, dude. I hope you have a good night.
So do you. So do you. Do the same thing. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, don't worry, man. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, with that in mind, guys, that is Apoetsmuse. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Honestly, it was very, very exciting to do that. Let me just get rid of that. Ta-da! Right, there we go. It's just me now, everybody. Yeah, guys, I think that was really, really cool. So this is going to be public. If any of you guys want to watch this back and get involved in this, you're very welcome to do so. I'm going to go live now on YouNow and get in the hashtag and compete against Yavi and everybody else. Poet, you were fantastic. Thank you for agreeing to come on the show. You really helped kickstart this show in the right direction. It's always an honor and a privilege to have you on. You're great. You're a great conversationalist, and I actually really enjoy our conversations. And guys, we're gonna have somebody planned for next week. Who is it gonna be? Who knows? If there are any partners here, anybody who would be interested in potentially coming on, or if you know of anybody who's interested or maybe interested in coming on, well, you're welcome to reach out to them and then reach out to me. You can contact either Master of Gallifrey or Shan. Those are the two people that you should go to with any kind of relative message on that. Part 2 will be when? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Thank you, Mallory. Thank you, Loki, and thank you for having me on this amazing show. I love this style of guesting. Yeah, I want to work on an overlay. Shan needs to work on it. Shan's has been busy, and I've been busy, so we haven't really been able to sort it out. But I like the inside the mind with Lowkeyloki in the brain. I think that looks fucking cool. I'm here for it. But we're going to make it look hopefully a bit more slick next time. And I'm going to have people, like, there's going to be a donation link next stream that allows you guys to actually contribute, which is really, really cool. So, for example, I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. Okay, I don't think that worked. Well, I don't know what to say then. That's kind of awkward. All right, let me see if I can get... Come on. Work. Work. Work, pussy. All right. All right, let's see if this works. This better work. Yay! Okay, it does work. So, guys, you see in the middle of my screen, it says, it has a zombie. It says, John donated £25. Well, basically, guys, for the next stream, I don't know if you guys, can you guys see it? Can you guys see it? I don't know if you guys can see it. It's not, like, coming up for me. Okay, yeah, it's coming up for me now. Cool. So, yeah, that's going to probably be an option, and I'm going to have, like, a volcano erupt when people donate, which is pretty cool, and it's any amount. I think you can even drop like 69 cents if you want. It's pretty amazing in that regard. If that's, yeah, I'm doing it through Streamlabs, Murray. I'm doing it through Streamlabs, and as far as I'm aware, guys, I'm pretty sure I get almost 100% of the earnings. It's a lot more than YouNow, so it's really up to you guys. I've had people messaging me saying that they would like to support these shows, and you will have the opportunity to soon if you would like to. But thank you very much for all you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. You've been amazing. I will see you guys next time. Thank you.